Alright guys, had a little malfunction there with the camera. Anyway, like I was saying, we was rolling that on the table, getting everything lined up. Put our bands on. Same as before, getting them up on the tread. Make sure my bead is seated. Same with the rear here, rear bead. Alright, now we're ready to glue. Let's talk about glue for a second. I like to use the J Concepts glue. This is one of my favorites. This is a thin. This stuff holds like none other. And I also like to use a little needlepoint tip. Makes tire gluing real easy and real clean. You don't have to use that, but I like that. We're going to glue these up. Put me just a little bit down in there. And this thin glue will run all down in the bead of the tire. Get it all up in there and kind of squeeze and press a little bit. Get that glue going around there. Set that off to the side. Do my other one. Same way. Alright. By the time I get that one there done, this one here is just about ready. But I could turn it over and start, but not quite. Kind of got to let that sit there and dry for a second. While that's drying, I'm going to talk about, about your glue job and stuff. I know guys that use different glue than this. Man, don't be, it's $11 at the hobby shop for this stuff. But to me, it's worth it. Now, there is other stuff out there. I've heard of guys using Loctite brand, thin glue, or whatever other brands, Proline glue. Man, I'm telling you guys, I put many tires together with this stuff and never had a problem. It's important. Alright, I think we're dry enough to turn this over. Sometimes you might get a little extra that comes out there. I just roll it. I can move that tire and roll that stuff around because it is thin. And what I do is I do make sure there is a little bit extra, and I'll take that glue and let it run and roll. It gets that tire and wheel nice and glued in. Wipe off any excess with a rag there, and you're done. Once again, taking that excess that came out there and letting it run around. Once it's ran around and made that nice glue bead back there, wipe off the excess, and there you have it. Now I'll leave them glue bands on there for just a little bit longer while that stuff really dries up good and sets up good. And there you have it, just like that. Let's talk about one other thing. Let's talk about tire sauces or tire dope. What do I put on my tires and what do I use? Absolutely nothing. I don't use any tire traction compound. None of that stuff. I believe that the cars work better. We're talking about, on no prep or prep, it don't matter. I don't run anything on my tires. My car is more consistent without it. I don't have to worry about making a pass, coming back to the pit, cleaning my tires, putting more stuff on to make another pass. If you get your car to work on nothing, and you're going to have a lot more consistent race car. You'll notice that once you get everything set up right and the car's working on zero tire prep, everything will be a whole lot more consistent pass to pass. These tires are the technology in the rubber alone is so good now that you shouldn't have to put anything on any tire. But when we're talking about DE tires, they especially don't need anything extra. Some of you guys that off-road race or or dirt oval race, or any other form of racing, a lot of times you do put tire dopes and or tire preps on your tires, and that's a common practice. Uh, there again, I mean, what can happen over time because of the chemicals and things that are used in the tires, or in those preps, is the prep's made to do one thing. That's to open that tire up and bring the traction properties out in the rubber, making it softer. It actually degrades the rubber. The tires don't last as long. So, nothing. But there is one critical thing about these tires, especially that we learn real fast, and that's the burnout. Guys, there's no sense in trying to smoke the tires. All you're doing is wasting your money. You go up there to do your burnout. I do it two different ways. You can do it on the bare surface that you're racing on, right there at the starting line, or you can use like a piece of carpet, which we do a lot, or even a smooth, nice piece of like a 2x6, 2x8 piece of pine board, like regular board. And I know what you're thinking. Wood, it works really, really good to get the tire hot really quick. The carpet does the same thing. These tires do not take a lot of heat. Testing has showed that a very minimal burnout raised the tire's temperature up to like 140 degrees, just like that. But they need to have heat in them. These tires do require some heat, and just like many other tires out there, the warmer that they get, the better they are. Well, in a case of these tires here, these super softs, the clays, they don't take a bunch of heat. In fact, if you get them too hot, they get greasy and they do not hook up as well. The super soft especially, they take the least amount of heat to make them work. These clays, they're designed to run on clay. I don't know if you ever felt clay surface, but it's normally pretty dang, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cold. And it's true. I mean, you got to have some heat to make everything work. But like I said, a little light burnout, a couple seconds, and don't have to use a lot of pressure against your car to do it. Spin them on the concrete slow. I barely come off idle to spin the tires over and to get them get them rolling. Doing a half throttle burnout is, you don't want to do that. What you're trying to do is keep the tire flat while you're doing the burnout. So you don't want a lot of speed. The more speed, the more these will grow. And that's another thing we talk about is taping. Absolutely do not need to tape these tires. Absolutely not. They will grow, yes, but not excessive. These tires are made with a thicker carcass out here. With it being thicker, it makes the tire not grow near as much as it would if they weren't thicker. If you tape these tires, you're hurting yourself. With them running them untaped, helps them hook up. Anytime you tape a tire, you're taking away the ability for that tire to work, because it stiffens everything up. It holds this rubber together. It won't let everything move like it should. So 100% do not tape. I will say this, that you don't even have to re-gear your car, even though they're shorter in height. The difference in the height there, check that out. That's taking them straight off the table up to there. By the time these actually grow, under load, under power, they're going to grow and they'll get to about the same exact size as this tire here is right now. So they're going to grow that much. if not a little bit more. Whatever gear ratio you ran with these, you can run the same ratio with these and get away with it all day long. I've been down that road 2 or 3 times. So I haven't had to change my ratio coming from what we call a big to a small. Let's talk about the tire width. You know, they're pretty much the same exact width as your bigger SC type tire. This 2230 tire, made for the short course trucks, it's the same width. Sitting on the table, bringing them straight off the table, you can see they're just, might be just a touch of difference, not much. Not enough that I've actually worried about. So there's that. Let's see here. Okay, let's talk about SC tires for a second. SC size tire. This is the DE Phenom tire. This is designed with a little tread in it, a ghost pattern type tread. This is brand new, never been on the track or the street. I've never done a burnout in these. You can see there's very minimal tread there. It's ghosted in with that's what we call ghosted tread. These tires work exceptionally well. There again, just like these, any surface. This is a clay compound. Now, this being a SE size tire, I will say that I have ran these untaped and taped. I prefer on the 2230 tire to tape them. I think that they should be taped. Now, this tire does have a thicker carcass on it as well, like these tires here. I will say that you can get away without taping this tire and not have near the trouble you would, say, out of a thinner other brand tire, or a thinner carcass like dirt tire or some other slick manufacturer's thin carcass tire. There again, this is my opinion only. I mean, so yeah. Now you're going to ask, why do you run this tire over that one? Because I like the fact that it's a little smaller, a little shorter diameter. I'm a firm believer in a shorter tire. That goes back from me drag racing years ago, running foams. And it seemed like the shorter the foam was, got down to a point, the tires were quicker. Because especially on this deal here, because we taped these and these pretty much stay, this SC size 2230 tire will stay around, it's going to grow some even with tape in it, but it's going to stay about this same exact size. On the launch, I got this shorter diameter. The car was 60 foot or 6 foot quicker because it's shorter. And now I'll tell you this, in about 15 foot, they're already growing pretty good. They're not full growth, but they're already growing. So it's going to 6 foot harder 9 times out of 10 than this tire here would, per se, just because of the diameter. Remember, I didn't change my ratio, so this has less rollout than this tire. I believe that it's 6 foot harder on this tire here. So, you know, people say, well, then why we run these tires at all? You know, these cars are built around a short course based truck, and naturally, a lot of people want to run a short course based size tire. So, I mean, each his own. I just like how the car leaves and feels on this tire here as compared to that tire. When you're, drivability, down track, I couldn't tell you a difference between this one or that one, how each one of them felt. But I can tell you that the 6-foots are better on this tire. When I say better, the difference between I don't know, let's say a 380 6-foot and a 360 6-foot. I'm just throwing numbers out there. But there is a difference, as a racer, we're going to go after what makes us faster. So that's my whole thing there. Maybe another video we'll go over some more of that stuff. So here we're done. Tires are glued. Everything looks good. These are ready to go. Everything looks great. There you have it. Appreciate you guys watching. Again, that's just what I do, what I've showed you guys. And I don't do everything perfect or the right way. Heck, I could be doing something totally different than other people. I don't know. I'm telling you guys what works for me. And the things I've showed you is what DE suggested and how they recommend you to run them. And I agree. That's how you should run them. No tape, vent the tire, vent the wheel, cut the square edge off your insert, and mount them and go. As far as breaking them in, do a couple burnouts and they're ready to rock and roll. Anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching. And I plan to do a few more videos after this, so I appreciate it. Thank you guys.